Right then, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you were in all parts of the world. We are back again with Arsenal transfer news, and we are going to talk James Maddison, we are going to talk Aaron Ramsdale, and we are going to talk Tammy Abraham this early morning. Please do smash a like on the video, do subscribe to the channel, it really means a lot, and obviously make sure you turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any update on a daily basis. So make sure you do get in your thoughts in the comments as well. There's a big question I would love to pose to you at this point in time. Is Tammy Abraham a perfect replacement to Willian, Nketiah, and Alexander Lacazette? We're going to dive into that. We'll talk about that. If Arsenal lost Lacazette, Willian, and Eddie Nketiah, would you take Tammy Abraham? Arsenal love the player. Arsenal much interested in the player, and a loan deal with an obligation to buy for £40 million is on the cards. We're gonna be discussing that and more in this episode. My name is Cossy, and this is LA Morning News Update. So let us begin the stories. Let us begin the party. And to get the party started, let's begin with James Maddison. A couple of reports did come out yesterday, and they did confirm that Arsenal and James Maddison have come to an agreement. Personal terms have been agreed, totally agreed, between the player and Arsenal. The player is set to put on shirt number 10. Now this is where it gets more interesting, because according to the reports that came out yesterday, the player will put on shirt number 10 at Arsenal and will get a salary close to 200,000 per week. Now this actually this actually crosses all the reports that have been coming out, saying Emile Smith-Rowe is set to put on shirt number 10 at Arsenal next season. So there's a little bit of commotion when it comes to the James Maddison deal and Arsenal, because a couple of reports did come out yesterday indicating that James Maddison might have agreed personal terms with Arsenal, but that doesn't change the stance between the two clubs. Leicester City are still holding out for a £70 million bid from Arsenal, and of course Arsenal is still working to get the player done. There is no agreement, there is no contact, there is no official. There are no official talks between Leicester City and Arsenal for the player. Actually, what is happening is Arsenal are more concentrated in talking to the player and convincing the player to join Arsenal, rather than taking in official bids to Leicester City. And the reason is it's been reported that Arsenal will need to make some money in this transfer window. And when I mean make some money, when I say make some money, it means we will have to make some sales. We will have to move on some players in order to make an offer for James Maddison. So that is the situation. Personal terms, according to reports, personal terms are agreed with James Maddison. The contract that has been tabled for the player is pleasing enough. He would love to take on the contract. He would love to play for Arsenal, but there is no contact between Arsenal and Leicester City, official contact as yet. Leicester City, according to reports, are aware of Arsenal's interest, and Arsenal is also aware of the demands of Leicester City, but at the moment there is nothing formal. There are no talks, there are no advanced stages of this deal. Of course, a couple of reports did report yesterday that Arsenal are planning on players or on a player plus cash deal to be offered to Leicester City. And some of the players that were offered in this deal were Ainsley Maitland-Niles as well as Reece Nelson. I'm not really sure if Leicester City will actually agree to the deal of a player plus cash deal. I think they will need more of a permanent deal with only cash. So it's gonna be interesting in the coming weeks, because today is Thursday, and look, the week is done, the week is over, just like that. So I will be letting you know whatever is happening, whatever I get to learn of and land on. I'll be able to let you know. Personal terms agreed with James Maddison. That one is halfway confirmed by a couple of reports, and of course, no contact, absolutely no contact with Leicester City at the moment. Tammy Abraham is also not in advanced talks, as reported by Fabrizio Romano. Arsenal are not in advanced talks to sign Tammy Abraham, like a couple of reports had been had actually reported yesterday. Now, what Fabrizio said, Chelsea are aware of Arsenal's interest, and Arsenal is also working hard to get Tammy Abraham onto the Emirates Stadium. However, there is no advanced talks between Chelsea and Arsenal. There are no advanced talks. Actually, what is happening is Arsenal are only believed to be leading the rest to sign Tammy Abraham from the likes of beating the likes of West Ham, beating the likes of Southampton, and beating the likes of Leicester City. In this race, I don't think Leicester City will really want to fight over Tammy Abraham at the moment. I think they have 3 strikers that will actually take them through the season. They have Vardy, they have Patson Daka, and they also have Kelechi Iheanacho. So I don't think Leicester City will be a big problem. The problem might be Southampton, because Southampton are afraid of losing Danny Ings at the end of the season on a free deal. So they would rather sell him at this point in time. They would rather sell him for any for any cash, any amount they could actually get out of selling him. So I think the battle is going to be between West Ham, Southampton, and Arsenal. Arsenal are believed to be leading that race. However, they are not in advanced stocks. There are no advanced stocks between Arsenal and Tammy Abraham, or Arsenal and Chelsea. A deal is though believed to happen if Arsenal continue pressing, because according to Fabrizio, he says no advanced stocks, but the deal is Arsenal pressing for the move, as well as Chelsea aware of Arsenal's interest. However, beyond that, there is nothing we can confirm at the moment. Obviously, the next player we have to talk about this early morning is Aaron Ramsdale. Did dominate the news yesterday. A lot of stories, a lot of reports on Aaron Ramsdale, 30 million, and I will get I'm going to get a deeper, version, a deeper video on Aaron Ramsdale, and also shoot a deeper video of Tammy Abraham and try to look at them, in separate stories. But what is happening with Aaron Ramsdale at the moment is quite complicated, and when I say quite complicated, I mean quite complicated. It's like the Onana deal. Let me just take you 1 minute into the Onana deal. So what is happening with Andre Onana? As things stand, and according to reports that came out almost 21 hours ago, sorry, Andre Onana has agreed personal terms with both Arsenal and Lyon. However, the deal between Lyon and Ajax is proving to be very problematic. What Lyon want to do is to offer Ajax 3 million euros to take the player, and the reason behind that is Lyon are trying to justify their I don't know how I should call it, their poverty. They're trying to justify that by saying that the player is actually only available after January, which is true, by the way. If you think about it, Andre Onana will only be available after January. His ban actually expires in late November. He'll be available for this in December. He will be unfit then, because he's actually not allowed to come to any footballing facility. What that means is you're gonna have him for December training and gaining back his fitness. Now, after gaining back his fitness, he's gonna go in the African Cup of Nations tournament in January, and that is when the fiasco will actually end. Now, Lyon are not really afraid of that. They are more convinced that they can take the player. They're more convinced that they can actually have the player despite all those difficulties. The problem now is Ajax are holding out for a 9 million euro price tag. They're saying if you do not have 9 million euros, do not think about taking Andre Onana. His contract expires in the summer. Ajax are not sure if he will sign a new one, and I'm also not very sure if he will sign a new one. Reports indicate mainly he wants to join Arsenal, but Arsenal are not willing to take a player who's gonna be out until November, train only in December, and go out again in January to Africa, and then come back after January. It looks a little bit problematic. Now that takes us to the Aaron Ramsdale story, because apart from Andre Onana, the player that is leading the rest to join Arsenal, I'm not saying Arsenal leading the rest for Ramsdale. I'm saying Ramsdale is leading the rest to join Arsenal as backup goalkeeper. So what Arsenal are looking at is getting in a homegrown goalkeeper in Aaron Ramsdale. two bids, according to reports, have already been rejected for Aaron Ramsdale, but Arsenal are very, very confident that they will get the deal over the line. We are preparing a 32 million bid, 32 million pound bid for Aaron Ramsdale. And that is what is actually happening. So the big question for me is, if Arsenal are splashing 32 million Aaron Ramsdale, if yet we could get 20 million or less than 20 million and sign Sam Johnston. At times I don't get our transfer release. I really don't get our transfers, but that is what's happening in this early morning. I just wanted to report what is what I know and what's taking place. So Arsenal have agreed personal terms with James Maddison. That doesn't make the deal any closer because Leicester City are still holding out for their 70 million price tag. Tammy Abraham not in advanced talks with Arsenal, and Arsenal not in advanced talks with Chelsea, but the interest is recorded. And Chelsea are considering the fact that they can let the player go to Arsenal with an obligation to buy for 40 million pounds. And finally, Arsenal preparing a 32 million bid for Aaron Ramsdale from Sheffield United. Two bids have already been bounced. As per time of recording. Thank you so much for joining me this early morning. I'll speak to you very, very soon in the next one. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel. And today we are on a video spending spree. So make sure you do tune in. Make sure you do subscribe, by the way. Make sure you do turn on the notification bell so that you can get all the notification. Today we have a couple of videos coming on. We will talk about our in depth. I will talk about James Maddison in depth. I'll talk about Aaron Ramsdale and Tammy Abraham in depth. So make sure you stay by the channel. I'll speak to you very, very soon.